How to maximize lead generation and sales on LinkedIn for B2B services. This is exactly what this video is all about. My name is Artem. I help agencies and other B2B services generate more leads, more sales on LinkedIn using my genuine social selling approach that also helps to build up the brand and the goodwill for your company. In this video, I'm going to explore the different aspects of lead generation and maximizing it to the fullest potential. So my goal for my clients is to help them get more business as quickly as possible, but without the negative consequences of such actions. To explain you better what I'm talking about exactly is we need to step back and understand what a typical lead generation agency that works with LinkedIn looks like. So the idea is that when you go through an onboarding process with them, and I've been through this process on both ends, so I know exactly what I'm talking about, they would basically ask you what your business is like and who is the decision maker for your particular service or product. And then they would go on LinkedIn, scrape all those contacts, so anybody who they can find on LinkedIn that fits the image that you provided them with. And through the setup that they have on cold emailing, because LinkedIn doesn't allow a tremendous, like a crazy number of connection requests or messages sent out on a monthly basis. They only allow anywhere between 400 and 800 right now. And they would basically scrape LinkedIn and find out the emails that your decision makers have. And then they would send cold emails with an email template and basically try to find all those people that would potentially buy your service. What ends up happening is that they can send thousands, literally thousands emails on a daily basis, basically spamming your entire scene and weeding out anybody who is willing to fall for it. And I'm not saying your product or service is bad, but it's just a reality. You have to spam the absolute majority of the population to find those people, to find those decision makers that are at the right stage at the right time. So you can imagine what are the odds of that. And I'm actually going to show you what are the odds of that in a moment. Having said this, this approach might have something to it, and I'm going to dive into this right now and show you how it can potentially work in a combination with other strategies while you're maximizing lead generation and sales using LinkedIn. Now, all the way to here. This is Chad Holmes' buyer's pyramid. Chad Holmes was a sales and marketing author and coach. He put together this book some time ago. I recommend you check it out, The Ultimate Sales Machine. A great book. So here's the buyer's pyramid, which anybody who's dealing with demand generation and just basic understanding on how it all works with the market out there should really know about. And once you look at it, it's kind of self-explanatory. It's got this 5 different levels of customer readiness to buy, let's put it that way. And when you look at it, it's only 3% that are in this buy now stage. So that's exactly what this cold outreach method is based on. So it's trying to find these 3% of people that are ready to buy. And of course, also what ends up happening is that even less than that purchase, because this is like an average number. It's like they might be buying now, but your solution doesn't fit them, or they don't like the offer, or something is off. So a tiny amount of people, okay? Then there are 6% that are open to buying. So frequently these two kind of go together, because these people are basically, they're at the stage when they're ready to buy, but they just need a little bit more information. They just need a bit of an extra chat with somebody about the subject. Then there are 30% not even thinking about buying. That's a lot of people. 30% don't think they're interested. There's a bit of a caveat with this, because they think they don't think they're interested because they do not have enough information on the subject. So they don't have the right information. They don't have the full picture, so they don't think they're interested. And 30%, no, they are not interested at all. And that is perfectly fine. So now, going back to our LinkedIn lead generation sales approach, if we think about it in a setup for a client, yeah, so say somebody is hiring me, my goal is to find those 3%, 6% as quickly as possible for my clients to get that new business as quickly as possible. While at the same time, my goal is to not let this spamming happen out there, which basically burns contacts. Yeah, so once you try pitching people cold style, a lot of people will be very upset, and they will not have a really nice sentiment associated with your company. Yeah, so it's really not nice, let's put it that way, in the long run, once you start creating relationships with cold pitching. Because imagine if you are out there on the street, you're walking, just minding your own business, and then there is some crazy guy jumps out at you from the crowd and is like, dude, I know I can help you make $10,000 a month, for example. You just have to pay me $1,000, and if it doesn't work for you, I'll give you money back. No risk for you whatsoever. Well, you look at the guy, 99.9% of all cases, I assume, look at the guy like he's crazy, yeah, and just walk away. You don't know the guy. Who is he? So, and he's just pitching you right away. The same thing is happening online. So that is really important if you're looking to burn a long-lasting brand, and you cannot, especially with a smaller audience. Yeah, so you cannot afford to just go and spam people with your solution because, well, first, there's very little response to begin with, and then it just hurts the brand in the long run. So based on this knowledge, what can we do? Yeah, how we can make this happen? How can we maximize LinkedIn lead generation and sales? How can we get these clients as quickly as possible? So what I suggest at this stage, as of July 2023, I suggest we do the following. I have a little quote here from Chad Holmes' website. The lesson here is to teach your prospects what they need to know to make a smart buying decision and position your solution as the obvious choice. So this is when it comes to educating people about the problem that they have and how they can effectively solve it using your product or service. Okay, sorry, I skipped it, but it's pretty self-explanatory, just the way it's all built out. Now, here's the action plan based on the above. And I've got 5 steps here. What's really important to understand is that it's very different when it comes to differences between the niches. Even within one niche, you can have different types of micro niches that you deal with, and they might have a different response. So it doesn't hurt to test. Yeah, so don't take anybody's suggestion on the right way how to do it. There are certain principles that you can employ and that you can develop for your own lead generation. And sometimes you can tweak things. Sometimes you can scrape parts of lead generation process that is, for example, is essential for some other audiences. And in your case, it can just work like that really easily. Brilliant, go for it, So here, I'm just giving you an action plan based on some general guidelines that you can kind of stick together and create your very own genuine social selling approach that will work for your business so that you can quickly get your customers as quickly as possible while building up the brand and good reputation in the long run. Now, identify the 3% indirectly by having a very tight mega offer and optimized LinkedIn profile. What I mean by this is you have to be very specific who you are selling to. Yeah. And by specific, I mean you need to understand the audience within the niche that you sell it to. Okay, that's the first thing. I'm going to give you an example afterwards. You have to be very clear on the deliverables. What exactly are you delivering? If you can quantify it, brilliant. Then you need to provide a specific timeline for when your service falls through. Yeah, how quickly does it take for you to deliver those very specific outcomes for a very specific type of an audience? Then there needs to be some social proof. Have you worked with anybody in the past? What sort of results have you obtained for them? Do you have the proof of that? Ideally, video testimonials, they work the best. And then you need to have a sort of a risk mitigation. What happens if you fail to deliver these results? Are you working for free afterwards? Does the contract, does it not renew? What happens as a result? Do you give the money back? What happens? So this is the tight mega offer. Yeah, you know exactly who you're giving it for, deliverables, all that stuff. I'll give you an example. I had a wonderful, I'm in Buenos Aires, Argentina right now, and I went for a wisdom tooth removal. And the dentist guy, he's a friend of a friend, and he's a dental surgeon actually. So he's really high up there. And as we speak, I mentioned that I help agencies with sales and marketing and lead generation. And she's like, oh, maybe you can help me out. And I was like, okay, let's go for coffee. Maybe I can help you out. And then I started chatting up with him. And it took me like an hour to figure the stuff out. When I asked him, he's like, dude, what exactly are you looking to get? What type of clients? He's like, I really want just one implantation client, like every single day, instead of having 10 different teeth cleaning clients or very unpredictable implantation clients, because sometimes I might have like 3 a day and then I have 2 weeks when I have no implantation clients at all. So I want to have 1 a day. That would be ideal for me. So as you can see, I have a very specific type of an audience right now, not just dentists, but dental surgeons. I can also go deeper into the size of the clinic he's had, because it's a very, very small kind of boutique kind of clinic. So I can even nail it down further. Then I have the exact deliverables. Yeah, so I know exactly what he's looking for. He's looking for one implantation client on every single day. Instead of, and I can add that bit as well, instead of 10 teeth cleaning clients. Then I know exactly the timeline. So as I mentioned, he wants them on a daily basis. I can say, okay, I can help you get that sort of thing in like 30 days. And I can prove that, I've worked with other dental surgeons from different areas, and here's what they said. And then there's a bunch of like video testimonials. And for example, for dentists and for other doctors, that is huge. Yeah, once you get like social proof from their colleagues, that means a lot for them. So if your audience, if your target market is anything similar to that, that's really important. And then the risk mitigation. I can say, if I don't get you to that level in 30 days, I work for free till I get you there. Okay, that's my promise. You don't pay anything extra. So once you have an offer like this and an optimized LinkedIn profile that directly speaks to this target audience, once you start sending connection requests, the dentists, surgeons, dental surgeons in this specific case, they'll start checking out your profile. And if the offer clicks with them, if they're in this 3%, they almost start responding automatically. They almost like, oh, thank you for sending out connection requests. I'd like to learn more about your offer. Because it speaks to them directly and they're in this 3%. And I'm not saying this, it's not theory. It happens. It happens to me all the time. When I reach out, my messages to cold audience, like once I get people that are in this 3%, they reply to me right away and like, man, I'm curious. I just had a call like that like a week ago. Yeah, I had a guy's like, we just chit chat. We haven't even started, like I haven't gone through my normal like social selling chit chatty kind of thing. He's like, dude, send me your calendar link. Let's have a chat. Because he read it, he was like, that's exactly what I need. He's talking to me and I'm in this 3%. Okay, that makes sense. Optimized LinkedIn profile is important, is essential. Yeah, if you don't look professional, well, it doesn't work. Professional and also like in relation to your target audience, target offer, it's really, really important. The next step is when you keep growing your audience, okay? The step is essential because obviously you have to keep the flow going. You have to get more incoming customers and you have to expand your reach. So you do this by sending connection requests, creating content, commenting under other people's posts. You can also use any external things, like I'm using YouTube right now. Yes, you create some additional videos that target your specific audience. Okay. And then you go into posting educational content targeted in your audience. Yeah, something that I mentioned, because it also helps, not just it helps you to increase your audience size, it also helps to educate all those people that you reach out to, and they do not respond in a similar manner to what the 3 and 6% do. Yeah, because other people need more education, need more time with you, they need more interaction. So nurturing people by giving direct value, either within the direct messaging personally, and it helps a lot, once you're being very, very personal with with anybody. Yeah, so the conversion rate goes a lot higher. Or you can give them value, offer them value by commenting under their posts as well. Yeah, because naturally people love it when they get a bit of this clout. Yeah, so if somebody leaves a thoughtful comment under their post, and it's just so important for our ego, so you can work with this. Besides that, you also want to be a good person. You want to develop this relationship. You want to develop this feeling that these people get when they see your comments, when they see your profile. So you associate with positive, good energy and have all that goodwill. Okay. So I'm also mentioning here that the trick is in the touch points for creating educational content. So the idea is that the more they see you, the more you are kind of associated with something in their mind, and the more touch points you get, the more likely you are to sell afterwards. Yeah, it becomes easier because you're not like this random stranger from the street that just jumps at them from nowhere and asks them to pay that much money for whatever that is they're selling. And then the goal is to then invite them for a 15-minute chat as soon as possible, because this is typically a strategy that you would use in order to get things a little bit more businessy. Yeah. So this 15-minute chat is where you meet, and then you continue a bit of, getting to know each other, connecting. But this is also when you can start discussing business. I just had a 15-minute chat just like this before getting on this video. So, and it just came from our conversation on LinkedIn. So this was the guy that we connected with. We had a bit of a chit chat, talked about like the places we've traveled to, and came to know about this. And it was almost like, oh man, like, what do you do? He asked me himself. Yeah. And this is something that happens very, very naturally. And then you say, oh, I do this stuff. And it's like, our conversation is going so well. How about we take it for a 15-minute chat and then talk different things and touch, different subjects of work, etc., etc. So this is something you would do once you have a high ticket offer. That's pretty much it. That's the idea of maximizing LinkedIn lead generation and sales, like collecting the people that are most likely to convert as quickly as possible while developing your brand and looking in the long run, developing the goodwill with the absolute majority of the people out there that are not in this buy now mode, not even in the open to mode. The absolute majority of people are not at all in that state. Okay, so that's very, very important to understand. That's the idea about this Chat Holmes buyer's pyramid. Going back to some of these tips, there are many different spins you can take as well within them. There are many ways to skin a cat. So for example, you might not even want to wait for somebody to, like, you might have a really perfectly optimized profile with your offer out there with a ton of social proof and everything. And even the person is in this buy now or open to stage, they might still not reach out to you. So this is when you can send them a gentle message where it's say, this is what we do for our clients. And I see you're potentially people that might find this very, very interesting. This is how we do this. And then you have a link out to like a guide, a step-by-step guide where they literally see your method, how it's all done, and let them do it themselves if they wish to do so. Or you can work with us. And once they check out this piece of content, you are essentially educating them, at their own pace. So you're kind of also moving them towards this, the only right solution, which is buy from you eventually. Yeah. So that's the idea as well. That can work really, really well. That's pretty much it for this video about the maximizing LinkedIn lead generation and sales using the genuine social selling approach. So you get a lot of exposure at the same time, making sales, building your brand, and it's very, very medium, long-term kind of oriented. I hope that's been of help. Pin me up if you need some help, and I'll see you in the next video.